dear participants, we have a question and answer session. Hopefully, some of your questions have already been answered by the extensive speeches that were provided by our keynote speakers. And if you have any detailed question you want to know, you can always email us at info@rajulaw.com and we will be sure to get back to any of your queries. Before that, some of the questions submitted were given in the registration forms. So let me just cover a few of those questions before moving on to the chat box questions. Um, one question from the one question from the registration forms was, as a software developer in profession, how to attract a company to provide me H1B visa?
So it depends. Like it's very easy to present yourself as a very qualified candidate. I can tell you one thing. LinkedIn is a very good platform to hire people and also get hired. So I would advise you to create a very good LinkedIn profile. Also for software engineers, I think GitHub has a thing like you have to have like a GitHub profile, and you can share your GitHub profile to your prospective hiring manager. So you have to keep applying for different jobs. And since I assume that you're living in Nepal, so you have to tell them, hey, I live in a foreign country. Initially, I want to work remote, and then I'm interested to go to America. Please sponsor my H1B and other things. So the short answer is, present yourself in social media and other places as a qualified candidate and try to apply as many applications possible to different corporations.
Thank you so much, Mr. Majan, for addressing that question. A question that we have received from the chat box is, what would be the best option for me if I already have a B1, B2 visa from the USA? I was looking to migrate with my family.
Yeah, that's really good. If you have a B1, B2 visa, meaning you have a visit visa, come to America. Under B1, B2, you have 6 months to stay in America, look for a job, take interviews, everything. But remember that with under B1, B2 visa, you are not allowed to start working. So you can definitely apply for a job, take interviews. If the company wants to hire you, then you'll say, hey, I'm very interested to join your company, but I do not have work permit. Would you please sponsor my H1B? If they say yes, then they have to sponsor your H1B, get work permit, and only then you can start working. Another path could be you can come to America with a B1, B2 visa, apply for F1, change of your status to F1 status. So F1 has some good thing, like a better things than B1, B2, because under B1, B2, you're only allowed to stay in America for 6 months. Under F1, you can technically stay forever. So once you are in change of your status from B1, B2 to F1, then it's easy for you to look for a job, take interviews, and even you can work 20 hours on campus, like without any work permit. Also, most of the universities nowadays, they offer CPT programs. So under CPT, you can work for a off-campus job related to your field of studies. So there's many options. So short answer to your question, I advise you to come to America with B1, B2 visa, look for a job. Either if you find job and then request the company to sponsor your H1B. If you do not find job, get admission to a university, change your status to F1, and then keep looking for job.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan, for addressing that question. Another question from the chat box is, what is DS-160 or DS-190 forms and how does it work?
The DS-160 is the form for non-immigrant visa application, like F1 visa, B1, B2, like all kind of like non-immigrant visa. There are many kinds of non-immigrant visa that they use the same form, DS-160. The other from DS-190, right? Junaid, do you know what is DS-190 form? Or Tafim? Yeah, I cannot remember what is DS-190 form at this moment, but yeah. So DS-160 is basically application for non-immigrant visas.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan. Another question from the chat box was, I have over 13 years of work experience in the oil and gas field. I worked as a safety officer, but I'm undergraduated. Which visa shall I apply for?
He has an undergrad degree, right?
It says he is undergraduated, so probably yes.
Yeah, so probably you only have an undergrad degree. So if you have a master's degree, you could apply for NIW. NIW is a very good application, and nowadays we get a lot of approval for NIW. However, you have to have a master's degree to apply for that. So my suggestion would be, since you have a very good experience in oil and gas industry, apply for a master's degree either for MBA or any kind of engineering related to oil and gas. Actually, any kind of engineering with oil and gas would be better than MBA. And once you get your master's degree, then you can apply for NIW. I think that is the most like effective path to get green card. Alternatively, you can apply for jobs. Since you have good experience in oil and gas, you can apply for a job. And if the company wants to sponsor you for H1B, then you can directly come to America with H1B visa and keep working. But either way, if you get a master's degree, that would be better for you.
Thank you, Mr. Majan, for that answer. I would like to remind all the participants that if you have any other question you would like to get more detailed answers to, you can always email us at info@rajulaw.com for better answers, for more defined answers. Another question from the chat box is, if I buy a house worth $800K, can I get an EB5 visa?
No. For EB5, you have to, this is a very complex question, by the way. EB5 is a very good application. If you qualify under EB5, you and your family, meaning your spouse and any children under the age of 21 will get green card. However, you have to invest at least $900,000 in America. And if you just buy a home, that's not investment. You have to invest in actual business. You have to create at least 10 jobs, 10 like a full-time permanent jobs, and then you'll get the visa. So the short answer to your question, just buying a home, even if you just buy an apartment complex, most of the time it doesn't qualify. If you invest in an apartment complex, you have to maintain it, you have to run it as a business, only then you'll qualify, and you have to create 10 jobs here in America, only then you'll qualify for EB5.
Thank you, Mr. Majan, for that answer. Another question is how to find employers.
Well, as I said, LinkedIn is a very good place. There's many other online platforms. One is Indeed. Indeed is also a very good platform. So good thing is nowadays, many corporations, they hire remote workers. So this is a very good time to, apply from Nepal or anywhere in the world. So let's say you just graduated from a university in Nepal in a computer science degree or some other degree. You try to find some job who are hiring on remote workers. You apply for those jobs, get that job, try to show that you are a very good employee, try to impress your boss. And once your boss is impressed, request him or her to sponsor your H1B. That would be a viable path. So the short answer to your question, you can find job online.
Thank you so much, Mr. Majan, for addressing that question. We have another question from a participant. I have 12 years of experience in IT management and I'm studying master's in IT. Now I have done a PhD in business administration. Which visa will be good for me?
Since you have a PhD in business administration and you're studying master's in IT, I think NIW is a very good option for you. And you have 12 years of experience. I think all of these are good. I think you can consider about NIW. Also, regular EB2. Regular EB2 is a green card application sponsored by the corporation. The good thing about NIW is you do not need a job. You can sponsor yourself. But for regular EB2, you must be sponsored by a corporation. So that's another good option. But NIW would be probably better. So also you can come to America to continue your master's. And then once you graduate, then you can apply for NIW too. So short answer, I think NIW is the best for you.
I hope that answers your query. We have another question that is, could you please tell us the cost for the whole process of H1B visa?
Yes. So, there's a two different kind of cost. One is our cost, like our fee, our attorney fee plus USCIS fee. So for the first part, for the lottery, we charge $90 and the government charges $10. So the total is $100 for the first part. Once you are picked up in the lottery, then it goes to the second part, which is I-129, the actual petition. Our fee is $2,000 and the government fee is I think $960. So $2,960 for the entire second part. If you are already in America, then second part is the last part. You do not have to pay anything else for other thing. But if you are in Nepal or in other country, then there is a third step, which is H1B visa application, DS-160. For DS-160, we charge, I believe, $400 or $450 kind of things, and also the government fee is like the embassy fee is probably 200 something dollars. I cannot remember at this moment. Sorry about that. So let's say 450 and 250. So let's say $700 total. So the total fee from beginning to end, if you apply from Nepal, like if you need to go through 3 steps, then the total fee would be $3,800 kind of thing from beginning to end, including everything. And also, all of our fees are mentioned in our website. So if you go to our website, there's a button called legal fees. You can click that button and you will see all of our fees mentioned in our website.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan, for that detailed answer. We will take a few more questions before we end the session. So another question we have received from the participant is, if I have an LLC in the USA and do international IT sales through it, will that 900K investment need to be done anyhow, or it is as per the requirements of the business plan?
Yeah. So let's say you have a LLC in America. You live in America, in a foreign country. And if your company can generate $900,000 either as a profit or the total asset, if the total asset of the corporation is also 900,000, that's okay. Then you qualify for EB5, and definitely you can sponsor. You can apply for EB5 visa.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan. We have a few more questions only. So another question is, can I and my spouse travel together under an H1B visa?
Can you please ask the question again?
Yes. Can I and my spouse travel together under an H1B visa?
Yes. So your visa would be H1 and your spouse's visa would be H4. So it's a totally different application. Sorry, I forget to mention that. So when you get picked up in the lottery, when your I-129 get approved, the actual petition get approved, then you also have to apply for your spouse for H1B visa. It's a totally different application, different visa. But usually those who get H1B approved, their spouse get H4 approved too. So yes, you can travel together with H1 and H4 visa.
Thank you so much for that answer. Another question is, I have an electrical engineer's bachelor's degree and have been working as an automation engineer in Nepal for 4 years, but I don't have an engineer's license from Nepal. What chances do I have getting a job or migrating as a skilled worker in the States?
Yeah, for engineering degree, you do not need a license. I mean, if you have a license, that's good, but it's not mandatory. A lot of people here in America, there's an engineering license called PEFE. Some people, sit for that exam, get license done, but some people don't have it and they're still working. So, short answer to your question, I do not think you need a license to work as an engineer. You can easily work, especially if you have a degree, if you have work experience. I think those are good enough to apply for a job and get a job here.